Hi guys! So this is Sinessa. We're back with another reading. And today's topic is going to be, what do people find enchanting about you? So I'm gonna be honest, I went to a little local metaphysical shop, kind of impulse bought a bunch of shit. It was awesome. But I found these lovely starfish, and I have a little bit of a heart boner for starfish, meaning I love them, because I probably should have just phrased it like that instead of being extra about it. But I found that, and then it just kind of got me thinking about like different sort of nautical themes. I also found this really cool mermaid deck, and I wanted to sort of use it today to inspire this question. So what do people find enchanting about you, my dear? Oh my gosh, I don't know if you could hear that burp, but I'm sorry guys. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really fun topic to kind of talk about. So as usual, we have 3 options to choose from. We have option 1 with this blue starfish. We have option 2 with this cute little yellow starfish. Look at this little buddy. Oh my God. And we have option 3 with this like dark teal, kind of blue-green little mans. So, take a moment. If you need a moment, you can pause the video as you make your selection. Just go with the group that you feel the most intuitively drawn to. When you're ready, head down to the description box where there are timestamps for all of the options below and choose your selected pile. And yeah, they'll take you to your reading, and it's going to be awesome. So let's get this shit started. Yeah? Okay, I'm excited. I'm going to start with group 1. Okay. Hi, group 1. So first and foremost, I want to kind of talk about what I was picking up on briefly while I was shuffling all your decks and I was channeling. So for this deck, I was getting this like deep emotional and spiritual energy. I was getting kind of like almost Pisces vibes. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my little cloth. I was kind of picking up like Piscean vibes. So right off the bat, and I haven't really looked at the cards, but right off the bat, what I feel like people, what people find enchanting about you is you're like a real life mermaid. Like, but I feel like people find you very deep, very spiritual. I also feel like you reflect back a lot of what lies in people's hidden depths, because they're showing me very dark water here, and it's like very deep, still waters. You reflect that back to people. And I feel like people don't fully understand who you are or what you're about. And that's not like on purpose. I don't think you kind of intentionally like hide things away from folks. But I think you're just like, the way you operate is very private to you. And so private that you might not even really be able to articulate it super well. But people find this really enchanting that, you can both be so mysterious to them, but also because you're mirroring some like intimate things about them, you're both so mysterious to them and almost so familiar because of that spiritual, emotional intimacy that you bring, the energy that you bring to conversations and to relationships. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was picking up on. So let's look at your cards. Okay. If I could pull them apart. So you guys have, ooh, okay, yeah, you got Trust the Niggle. Can you guys see that? Making sure it's still in the frame. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Let me move that up there real quick. Okay. Then you have, I like to put them all out together first and foremost if I can. So, oh, you have Sweetness. I love it. Let me see if I can put them like this for you guys. I'm sorry. And I'm also sorry if they're not evenly placed. It's just not a strong suit of mine. I try though. Oh, there it is. You guys got Rose Quartz. This is Venus energy. We have card 14, which reduces to a 5. But we have Empathy here. Okay. This is why I was picking up that Piscean vibe here. And oh, you have Leo with the Lover. Oh, shit. I almost dropped everything. Ha! You have 12th house. I'm laughing because 12th house is usually Pisces house. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it so hard. You're going to love it. So let's see what your little mermaid oracle card is. You have Water Maiden. And it says, we the mermaids send you youthful energy, a free-spirited lust for life that will make every moment delicious. Savor this time, connect with this vitality, and feel the refreshing energy flowing through you. All right, can you guys see that? Is that still in the frame? Oh, yeah. Okay, I think. Sorry if you can't. I think this is tilted a little bit. Anyway, all right. Done is better than perfect. Do we want to look at these? I almost feel like I should hold off for a sec. Okay, so just from what we have right here, first of all, like I said, we have a lot of Pisces energy going on. We have Venus here, so you could be a Taurus or a Libra. We also have Leo represented as well. So this is really interesting to me because, first of all, with empathy, sweetness, and the lover energy going on, I feel like you, like I said, you mirror back to people very like deep and deep things about themselves, especially with the number 5 showing up, regarding the challenges that they've gone through or regarding changes they need to make. I feel like you tend to be somebody who's very empathic, very kind, very intuitive. Again, it's like people, because if you notice on this card, we have the 2 people in the background. Her eyes are closed, but her eyes are open, and they both have like a little glowing spot around the 3rd eye. It's like the 3rd eye, the heart chakra area, and the solar plexus chakra. So I feel like whether people are kind of aware of these things or not, whether people themselves are awake or not, you connect with them at a deep intuitive level. And I feel like you also reach them in the heart space and you empower them to take action toward what it is that they love, what it is they desire. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, especially for healing purposes, I really feel like that a lot. I feel like you're a very loving person. You might be very artistic with Venus, the 12th house energy, and, well, sorry, Venus, 12th house, and Leo energy here. All right, I'm going to stop fussing with it. But I feel like you're, you know, you reach people through the way you express your emotions, through the way you connect heart to heart and soul to soul. And I feel like, again, whether, you know, the people that you reach, whether they're kind of like asleep at the time, you know, spiritually speaking, or they're sort of aware of what you're mirroring back to them, what you're helping them through, I feel like you're really there to activate them to take action. And you do so generally through gentility, through being empathic, empathetic with people, and through your kindness. I think, you know, there's a lot of love here, and that's part of, all right, I will stop messing with it. There's a lot of love here, and that's part of your charm. That's part of why people get enchanted by you. But there's also a lot of depth here because we have the 12th house. And for anybody who's familiar with astrology, your 12th house, you know, we have subconscious mind talked about right here, karma, baggage. Your 12th house can really talk about, and any placements in that 12th house can talk about a number of things, but they're things that you might struggle to see clearly about yourself in this lifetime. And part of this life journey is to gain greater insight about those pieces of yourself, right? So, you know, for example, if somebody's got like Venus in their 12th house, they might struggle to understand their patterns in relationships. And so this might be something that you mirror back to them, because whatever's in your 12th house is essentially like locked away, right? It's kind of almost in jail. And you have to like do the work of freeing it and understanding it, getting clarity on it. And it's a process to disillusion those areas of your life that fall into your 12th house. So I feel like you help mirror that to people. You might mirror their karmic baggage is almost what I'm getting. And you do so generally, again, your like weapon of choice is that you're very kind, you're very loving, and it disarms people who might be kind of like, you know, defensive, that's the word, who might be kind of meeting you from a defensive place otherwise. And I feel like people just love you. People can't, I don't say people can't say no to you, because I think that has weird implications, but I feel like people don't want to. People are really appreciative, whether in the moment or later on when they can, you know, kind of come back and be like, okay, yeah, you were right about this, or like, you know, I had time to think about it and I'm really glad you pointed it out. I think people really appreciate that. And with the water maiden kind of thing about the vitality and the refreshing energy, I feel like you help move old energy out for people, and you help bring in, especially with this Leo here as well, you help bring in a lot of vitality and zest. You're a very zesty person. So I think you kind of help bring in like a breath of fresh air for people, and it helps, like they're able to let go of some of this baggage because you kind of help to bring in new energy. I talk about this a lot, but whenever we have to kind of like make a change, it's not so much a change as it is an exchange with spirit, right? We want this new energy in our lives, and as such, we kind of have to hand back our old energy, our baggage, in order to receive a new experience. And I feel that you kind of like, you take a little bit of the sting out of that for people, or you're the sugar that the medicine goes in. So this is what people love about you, is that you're both very wise and enchanting, and also very childlike and playful. So let's see what your tarot is. Sorry about the cough. Ooh, okay. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Hell yeah, dog. Okay. And yeah, the Seven of Wands reversed. What were we just talking about? Okay. All right, hang on. This is, we got stuff to talk about. Can you guys see this? Sorry, I know I'm like checking the frame a lot, but I have a hard time being able to assess. Okay, so I'm even gonna move that up. This is actually exactly what we were just referring to. So with the Wheel of Fortune here, this is Jupiter energy. Excuse me. And this is exactly what we're talking about. So you see how we have on this card, like I said, her eyes are closed, her eyes are open. And then on this card, on either side of the person directly in the middle, we have white and we have black, right? So we have light and shadow energy. I feel like when people are kind of trying to work through these energies, you come into their life by serendipity. It's like a stroke of good luck, right? And whether they are receptive to it or not, whether they are open and they're in their light energy or more in their shadow energy, you're able to meet people where they're at. And with the Seven of Wands reversed, this is exactly like on this version of the card, she's in a little, she's in a soundproof bitch bubble, baby. Like, you know, she's just really not having it, right? And this can be a beneficial place to be in, where you're like protecting your own energy, but it also can talk about being very closed off, right? And this is, you know, when it's reversed, this is where you're not as defensive, right? You're not as closed off. So I feel like even whether people are sort of more closed off or not, even for the most closed off person, they are very receptive to what you have to say, and they're very receptive to your energy. They're very, like, again, you like warm their hearts. You kind of just like sneak on in there. And I think intuitively, especially, you can pick up on people's energy really well. So you just like know what to say in such a way that, sorry, I'll stop fussing. You know what to say in such a way that it just really speaks to people. It really reaches people at an emotional level. And this is very profound for those who need it the most, is really what I'm hearing. Let's try to see if I get anything else for you. And again, we have a, excuse me, a light right around the solar plexus chakra area. So you do empower people to take action and move forward. And I think that that's a really beautiful combination to be able to activate them, you know, spiritually, emotionally, and empower them to take action on their newfound insights. So I love this for you. This is just about everything I'm seeing for group one. I hope this has been helpful. If you are interested in a reading like this for yourself, please feel free to DM me. I'm happy to do custom readings. And if I get enough requests or comments on this video or you liked it, I will add it as a permanent fixture to my shop. All my information is in the description box down below. I am wishing you guys the best, the brightest, and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. And with that, I'm going to move on to group two. Bye, guys. Hello, group two. So you guys are attracted to this lovely little yellow starfish. She's a beaut. I'm gonna put this over here, put that right there. So what I was picking up on while I was channeling and shuffling was, it's really interesting. This group is totally different. All the three groups are very distinct, but this group is very, very different from the other two energies. Like group one had more of kind of a watery energy. Group two or group three is kind of more of like an earthy energy, but this one's like fire and excitement and So something I was picking up on for this group is that I feel like if you are attracted to this option, people really appreciate your optimistic nature. You're very sunny. You're very lively to be around. You're very exciting. I feel like you're very go with the flow, and you're very tuned into a creativity and abundance mindset. You're very much in that frequency. You see opportunity in almost everything, so you don't really get stuck in one place because you know that there are always, you know, Spirit's always presenting you new options. There's always something else right up around the corner. You know, the flip side of this too is that you might struggle sometimes with making a decision or sticking with a decision in particular. But what people, you know, find enchanting is that you seem like you're always able to bounce back. You land on your feet. You're very much, you're like, some people kind of, life takes them for a ride. You take life for a ride. You put a saddle on that bitch and you ride, like, you have a grand old time. And people love that about you. People really like how, just like how free-spirited you can be. People like how resourceful you are. People like how optimistic you are. Again, it's like you don't really get stuck that much. And again, you know, this is what people find enchanting about you. So you might not feel like this about yourself, but this is how people perceive you and why they're like, oh my God, I love them. This is why people want to be all up in your shit. Is because they really enjoy this quality. It's kind of like this, what will they do next? So you might be like a natural entertainer or entrepreneur. You might like to travel a lot, or again, just be very, very free-spirited, very optimistic. You're a very energizing person to be around, and people really, really admire that and appreciate that. I feel like you're the person where they're having a gathering of friends, they call you, they're like, oh, they're going to have so many stories. They're going to be really fun. They're going to be down for anything. Somebody's got a creative project. They want you on the team. Like you're the life of the party here. So I really, really liked that. Again, it's very, very distinctly different than the other groups, but it was nice to see. Yeah, so I think that was everything I was picking up on while I was channeling. Let's get into your cards. As I always say, I try to line them up evenly. I'm sorry if they're not. It's just not a strong suit of mine, so bear with me. Oh, you have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Love it. You have... Ooh, okay. Interesting, we're talking about fire and water because we have the water element coming out here with aquamarine, and this is intuition. So some of you might have March birthdays or be a Pisces or especially an Aries born in March for sure. We have the number 8 here as well in case that's important for you. Things are stuck. We have Nourish. I really like that card. I really like all the cards though. Let's actually read this. This is from the Mermaid Oracle, so let's see. Coral's teachings. Intricate and precious, coral is fragile, magical, exquisite, and we, the mermaids, see these qualities in you. Yes. Remove toxins from your environment and drink pure cleansing water. Just like the coral, you are a treasure that deserves protection. We're going to put that little bad boy right there. Oh my God, exactly. 9th house. Okay, so 9th house with seeking. We'll get into it in a moment. And then, oh, interesting. We've got Neptune. Okay. So Neptune in Western astrology rules Pisces. And again, we're picking up on a lot of kind of almost Piscean energy in the first group. So, and I'm going to look at these two in a minute, but I want to talk about this first. Okay. So this is really interesting. I feel like you've kind of got a little bit of everything. You might be kind of a jack of all trades. I feel like while you are somebody who is kind of this Sagittarian energy, right? You like to travel. You like that kind of expansive mindset. You might be more optimistic, very spiritual. You are also very, very intuitive, and you are not afraid to stand up for what it is that you have decided is true to you, right? I feel like to the outsider, it might seem that you kind of like, you know, maybe that you just fly by the seat of your pants, or like they're not seeing the intuitive process, the internal process. So it might not really make sense. It might kind of seem like you're just all over the place, but I feel like you're very, very in tune with spirit, particularly with your guides and your higher self. And you're always channeling that information into what you're doing. Sorry, I'll stop fussing with the cards because I know they're not even, but I don't know how to fix it. Sorry, guys. This is how we are. We'll figure it out. Yeah, and again, so we're getting here with, you know, the corals teaching. It's like removing toxins and having a refreshing environment. I feel like you don't like to let energy sit too long. You like to cut away what's not working. You get very, like you hone in very sharply on what works for you and what doesn't. And you cut away anything that's not nourishing your growth, particularly at a spiritual level. And I would argue a creative level as well. We do have two with this Neptune card. You see the two faces going opposite directions. So again, I feel like you can see a lot of different perspectives. You're not afraid to change your point of view. You know, you're not like somebody who is like, oh, that doesn't really resonate with me anymore, but I have to save face. That's not really you. I feel like you're very imaginative. You're very open to the possibilities. This is a lot of creative energy as well. And I feel like, so again, you know, I want to mention we have Sagittarius showing up here. We have kind of Pisces showing up, and to a certain extent Aries, because aquamarine is the birthstone for March, and people born at the end of March would be an Aries in Western astrology. But I feel like even if you don't always understand why you feel led in a particular direction, you just like follow it without really questioning. And it generally works out for you. And I think this is like a nice bond of trust that you formed with the universe. And people who don't have that don't understand, but they find it really charming. They're enchanted by like, what are they going to do next? What are they bringing to the table? Because like you have that kind of spice of life zestiness. And again, I feel like this is a very creative pile as well. And, you know, creative doesn't have to be limited to like standard definition of creative arts, right? You know, like dancing, music, painting, stuff like that. Creative energy is, like I mentioned before, kind of very much in alignment with the abundance frequency as well. And I feel like you might have really good creative ideas. You might be very communicative or have a very unique way of communicating. But you have ideas. You have a lot of creative ideas, and you're always in that prolific mindset, that prolific, expansive energy. And I feel like because we have 3 flowers here as well, people, and a lot of flowers here, and some flowers here, people like to be around you because it's like you're so abundant. You have so many ideas. You can vibrate at such a high frequency and such a spiritual, like such a high spiritual frequency that it's like, because we have 1 flower, this is the highest, right? And then we have these other 2. It's like even what you cut away, what fluffs off of you, what you don't need anymore is like profound. So people try to kind of like, you might be kind of a trendsetter, or like you're always like ahead of the curve. It's like people are always kind of trying to figure you out, and trying to understand like how you think, and trying to kind of, I feel like, keep up with you, and those who can't, which I feel like is probably pretty common. Sorry, I realized I left something out. Sorry. People who can't, I feel like they just like to they like to hear what you have to say. They like to hear what you have to contribute, particularly your ideas creatively, because it's like, even if you don't use it, they can use it, right? So you might have a lot of people who want to collaborate with you. You might have a lot of people who want to travel with you, want to go have experiences with you. They want to hear, you know, your take on something, your perspective. A lot of people might also kind of come to you with something with this intuition card and be like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about doing this. How does this sound to you? What's your take on that? And we do have the number 8 here, which is for me always associated with manifestation and abundance as well. So I feel like you're a very intuitive creator, and people really love that about you. People find that enchanting, and not, they find it enchanting to observe, but they also find it enchanting, like they want to be around you, but they also want to be you, and they're kind of hoping you can help them out. It's like they want to know how you do what you do so they can try to emulate it. And it's really, really unique. So good for you guys. Let's see what your tarot is. Ooh, okay. You have the Death card reversed. And the King of Pentacles reversed. What the fuck were we just talking about? Sorry, I know I shouldn't be cursing, but yeah, I don't give a fuck. So let me make sure those are in frame. Yay, they are. Perfect. Okay, so we have Earth energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that may apply. We also have Scorpio energy. That's what I call my little Scorpidorps. I love them. We also have Scorpio energy here. Again, the King of Pentacles is like a business owner. He's somebody who is very stable, very, very grounded. We have a wolf image here as well. So I feel like you're not afraid to kind of go out on your own and do things your own way. I'm hearing at your own pace too. It's like you understand inherently everything happens in its own timing, and you're not fussed about other people's timing, right? With death and rebirth energy here, you know, you understand a couple of different things. There are cycles to everything. You understand that things have to transform at some point, and you understand very intimately the concept, like you're not afraid to make changes and cut things away, especially with the starfish, be very adaptable. You're not afraid to do that because you understand that there can't be any new beginnings without an ending. And so you're kind of very comfortable working with that and utilizing that to your advantage, I feel like. Again, with the King of Pentacles here as well, I feel like this is something where you achieve this over and over again in different ways. Excuse me. Oof. Oh, sorry about that. In different ways. And it's really interesting because we have the number 13 here, so that reduces to a 4, and 4s are about stability. But these cards, these are both reversed. So I feel like you can find stability even in the ever-changing, and you can also find chaos in something that is consistent, right? For you, you really follow your intuition, and when you do, you know, you're cutting away what doesn't work for you. So it's not like, you know, there's no kind of set rule for you for how you operate, especially creatively and spiritually. There's no set rule. You just do what you feel intuitively led to. So you're not like, you know, always staying consistent in one area or always changing. You're really utilizing both ends of that energy spectrum, and you're really incorporating both of those. And I want to say too, we have a library behind the King of Pentacles. So with the 9th house, you know, this is Sagittarian energy. What's across on the wheel of the zodiac is always the 3rd house with Gemini. The 9th house is much more about experiential, higher spiritual learning and abstract knowledge, whereas the 3rd house is much more about concrete knowledge and like things you can readily observe or what you can read in a book. So I feel like in past lives especially, so you may have South Node in Gemini, South Node in your 3rd house, something like that. I feel like in past lives especially, and possibly in this life, you learned a lot. Like you have a lot of random bits of knowledge, especially if you like to kind of switch up your style, switch up your interests, kind of be fluid like that. You've acquired throughout this process a lot of knowledge, and you know how to take what you've learned and make abstractions and make connections. And as a result, you're able to be like, oh, this thing is like this, and this thing is like this. I can put these two together and create this thing out of it. It's very Temperance energy. Again, big Sagittarius here. So this is really, really cool, honestly. I don't have much more to say. This is dope as shit. So I think this is everything I'm seeing for group 2. I love this for you. If you are interested in this reading for yourself, please feel free to DM me. I do custom readings. And if I get enough requests or like positive comments on this video being like, I love this, I'll add this as a permanent fixture to my shop. But yeah, this is amazing. I hope this has been helpful. I'm wishing you the best, brightest, and most beautiful things that life has to offer. And with that, I'm going to move on to group 3. Bye, guys. Okay. Hi, group 3. Okay, so I mentioned this in the other 2 groups, but every group today is very, very distinct, very different. So if you pick group 3, you're drawn to this like teal, oceanic, green, blue, lovely little starfish baby here. My sweet little echinoderm, if I remember correctly. Just tell me if I'm using the wrong term. Put it in the comments. Teach me some things. So if I had to like pick an element that applies to the other 3 groups, you know, group 1 was kind of more of a watery energy. Group 2 is kind of more fiery, although there's bits of both in each. And I'm getting a very earthy energy in this group. So what I was picking up on while I was channeling and shuffling first and foremost is that I feel like you guys you're very dependable. You're very loyal. I feel like you're very consistent. You're very loving. You might be very community or family oriented, or just like the people in your inner circle. It's like you would die for them, but you'd also make cookies for them. You could do both. You don't mind. Like, this kind of has this energy of like you took Cancer and Capricorn energy and you smushed them together a little bit with like Virgo sprinkled on top. And I love it. So you're like, you might be the mom friend. You're the person who will come through when people need you. I feel like you are very altruistically supportive of other people. Like you don't mind volunteering your time. If a friend calls you up and is like, I'm going through XYZ, I really need your support. You don't, begrudgingly kind of like, all right, what do you need me to do? You're very empathetic. You're very caring in that way. And you're happy to help in any way you can, like happy to be of service. And I feel like you're like a really good support person. Not to say that, if you were attracted to this group, you can't be in a leadership energy and capacity, but I feel like you're not afraid to do the teamwork. You're not afraid to, like, you have the qualities of somebody who would be good in a leadership or management position because you genuinely care about the well-being of everybody involved in the team. Yeah, really loving, really grounding, really supportive. So if somebody's like, their life is just like going up in flames and they're just like, shit is in loving union with the fan for them. And it's just like falling apart. Their life is a dumpster fire in that moment. I feel like you come in and you're able to help ground them and help them get calm and centered and help them make a plan for how to move forward. So you don't just like enable people or do everything for them, but you very, like hands-on, boots on the ground, support them and help them figure out how to move forward. So this is really beautiful. And I'm sure, people in your life are incredibly appreciative to have that. So good for you, just to start off. So let's see what you got for your cards. You have, excuse me. Oh, there it is. That's why. All right. So you have the Pleiades card, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. You're doing it, baby. You're doing it. Also, can we just acknowledge the fact that on this card, these three are like pointed this way, and then these two guys are like pointed off the other way. They're just like, they're lost. like poor little babies. So you have it's upside down. You have card 1 with Moonstone. This is associated with the crown chakra and transcendence. Oh, not yet. It's not time. You have creativity. Interesting. Group 2 got a lot about creativity. You have Pisces. Interesting. You got the Mystic. All right, I'm seeing what's going on here. You also got the 11th house. Oh my gosh, holy shit. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. You have the Mermaid's Mirror, and this is the mirror of the mermaids will show you what you need to know. The mystery you've been seeking an answer for will soon reveal its secrets to you, rising up out of the great unknown. Wow, I cannot keep a hold on this. Holy shit. And I'm going to save these tarot cards for in a little bit. Can you guys see that? Is that all in the frame? That's as close as we're going to get. Okay, so with the Pleiades card here, I'm not surprised at all. Many of you may identify as starseeds or light workers. I feel like you're a really good creative problem solver. And again, with the 11th house, you're very much about leading people. You might be an Aquarius or a Pisces, or again, very Cancer energy with this kind of moonstone, this moonstone vibe. But I feel like you are very empathetic. You're very supportive. You come in to help support people emotionally and spiritually through challenges in their life, especially because the 11th house is ruled by Uranus traditionally. Sorry, I really wanted to giggle and I'm trying to deal with my immaturity. And, this can be all about kind of like shakeups, that sharp left turn sort of energy, kind of those tower moments in people's lives. But again, it's also about your community. So I feel like you are very loving and supportive to your community, and you also, anyone that you kind of feel the need to help, you feel drawn to help, it's part of your mission. And I feel like you're very you're very able to intuit who needs your help at any given time. I'm also getting for this group, you're very claircognizant and possibly clairsentient. So you just like know things about people. You just know when they're having a hard time. You know what they need to, like, you know what to say, you know what they need to help them move out of whatever situation they're in a way that still empowers them. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to do. So many of you might be drawn to careers like counseling, or, you know, being like a life coach, being a spiritual mentor or advisor, things like that. And I feel like here too, because we have the mystery you've been seeking an answer for will soon reveal its secrets to you. And we have the, you know, rising up out of the great unknown. I feel like when people, like I said, when shit hits the fan for people, you intuitively know the answers, that you just like get the answers. And we have the number 1 here. So you help people begin again. You are the one who helps them rebuild. And you help them kind of see, like, okay, I know it looks like everything is in ruins, but we can use this for this. We can take this step. Like, you help them make a plan that will work for them. And then you help them kind of like, you lead them out of the situation. They like step by step follow you. And it's like very maternal energy going on here. So I really like that. Yeah, let's see what your tarot is, because this is pretty straightforward, really short and sweet. But you have, oh yeah, the 5 of Cups reversed. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. And the Knight of Cups reversed. Oh, so this is where I feel like this is especially about people's emotional well-being, is you might be very in tune with people's emotions. And you're very good at transmuting people's emotions, because you're also very good at being able to connect with them and identify with them without being overwhelmed by them. So again, very clairsentient. And so, you know, the 5 of Cups, you can kind of tell from, I love this depiction of the card. This is really like, you know, usually a card of loss and grief. And when it's upright, there we go. This is usually when someone is focused so much on what they've lost that they're so profoundly lost in the grief and the sadness and the fear of the moment that they're kind of struggling to see what their options are that are still available to them. They're kind of struggling to see that they do still have the opportunity for happiness, because, you know, the sadness of yesterday has stolen the joy of today for them. And especially with the Knight of Cups reversed, this could be, like I said, with emotional things, with things that they were really excited about, things that they were, especially if they're waiting on news, or like things that were said to them. It's like something they really, really, really wanted to happen. They really wanted it to move forward. They're very, you know, their heart was in it. When that shit hits the fan, I feel like you're the person that is able to help them deal with those emotions. You're the person who's able to help them get a new perspective. You're the person who's able to help kind of show them that, like, you know, because in the traditional card for the 5 of Cups, there's 3 spilled over cups, and the dude on the card is looking at him and he's like, oh shit. And he misses the fact there are still 2 cups left standing behind them. So I feel like you're that person that kind of helps shift their perspective and turn it around for them, where they're kind of able to come out of it. And look at even the similarity in color. Look at that. They're able to come out of it and be like, you know what, this does suck. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken about this. But you know what? When the time is right, I am going to move forward. Slowly but surely, I'm going to make it out of this. And you don't do this by pushing people. You don't invalidate their feelings. You just kind of like provide this like safe space where they can kind of like, they can sort of pour their heart out, vent their feelings, and like you just provide this like love and this like this light kind of for them. And especially too with channeling, and the little, I'm really drawing a little letter here. I feel like, again, you always know what to say. You always know what to say. You always have like the right idea. You just, sorry, I'm trying to fix these. Okay, I'm gonna stop. You always know what to do. You always know what to say. You always know how to help people move forward. You always just like know how to connect with them and how to help them gain a new perspective while simultaneously supporting them and not invalidating their experience. And like people are really, really grateful. People like, I feel like you get people to be loyal to you for like fucking ever. Like once you pop the fun, don't stop. They like, once you help people, I feel like they become kind of part of your community, part of your spiritual, like your spiritual family. I almost said spiritual legacy, but it's like they're part of this for you, because they end up being really, really grateful to you, because you're very much, like I said, with Pisces, you're emotional and spiritual service to others. So yeah, that's beautiful. That's pretty much everything I'm saying. I know this was very straightforward, but the message has been incredibly clear. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're interested in this reading for yourself, please feel free to DM me. You know, I don't currently offer this as a reading in my shop, but I'm happy to do custom orders. If I get enough requests or like comments on this video being like, hell yeah, this should be a thing, I will add it. But for now, feel free to DM me about that. All my information is in the description box down below. It's been an honor and a joy getting to read for you folks. I'm really just wishing you the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, guys. Bye.